We're feeling good about the third seed. We kind of messed up on the second one, but we're still confident and are planning to go win playoff.
They're dominating this one. John QT is the last one left. That's a win in his books. And a round on the board for Sentinels.
I think so far in split 2, we're like a middle of the pack team. We're definitely not at the top.
I mean, Thieves are a good team. They had a very strong showing in split 1. They have their like high moments and low moments, obviously. So they're a bit like, it's hard to predict.
It's good. Trailblazer also clean and banged, unaffected by the paranoia here. He's in a position to do some serious damage. And that's 4 on the round for Bang.
100 Team Sen also have a pretty big history. I've played them twice actually, and they beat us twice this year already, but that was when they were peaking really hard in the beginning of the year. It would be like last year, like LCQ 100T versus Sen, Sen beat 100T. So that'd be really cool if we got to eliminate them.
We just need to make sure to be on our best level.
Cloud chasers, social media managers, impression farmers, your time has come. It's our second elimination match of the day, and yeah, you already know, it's Sentinels versus 100 Thieves. Welcome back, of course, to day 1 of the VCT Americas Stage 2 playoffs. I'm over on the desk with Wyatt and Ender, and a very special guest, Loud Sadak. Welcome.
Hey. I'm fine.
I'm just standing here looking like a little fan.
Bro, like, I feel so small with you guys.
I know, actually, if you weren't here, even I'd feel small, and that takes a fair bit.
Step up my game,
if we all just lean on the desk like this.
Please.
Yeah,
just
5
go on my tiptoes.
Sadak, good to have you, man. How have you been? Obviously, a few days to, decompress a little bit.
Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm still sad, of course. Crying a little bit, but it is what it is. Keep gaming, You
still handed a fat L to 100 Thieves on your way out, though. That's got to feel some consolation.
We're kind of like Terminator, just going.
It's getting melted down. We've got a good old-fashioned clout battle between two of NA's biggest orgs right now. Even though this is technically an elimination match, though, the loser might still make it to Seoul based on their championship points because they've been doing some extracurriculars outside of Americas, gentlemen.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, Sentinels doing so well back in Kickoff, got themselves a whole ton of championship points. They're tied up there in first with Leviathan at 12. But 100 Thieves also, being the Stage 1 champs, come in here with 11. So it's just a shocking situation that one of them won't be advancing here in playoffs. But it's not all over necessarily for Sentinels, even if they lose here because of points. There's worlds where they still make it to champs.
Yeah, same for 100 Thieves.
That's right, yeah, both of them, of course, with that extra buffer. But Sentinels looked like they had the number 2 seed and a bye locked up after a great run in Stage 2. It was like 4-0, but they ran into G2 and came to a screeching halt.
Sadak, you want to tell me about this series? Oh wait, sorry. This is the G2 series.
Yeah, G2.
Yeah, you can still tell me about it.
Bro's watching.
I mean, there's nothing much to say. I think G2 has been looking really well for a while now, and Sentinels, like, they've shown they can readapt and bring something new because they're playing a lot of deadlock right now, right? So
yes.
That's super new to the meta. That's super new from all the teams that we've been seeing so far.
You guys are one of the first, right, on Lotus?
Yes.
Some good times?
Good times, man. We were victorious, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, G2, I think, is right now one of the best teams in NA for sure. And 100 Thieves, I think it's kind of like they're not adapting as well. Right now, 100 Thieves, like, they're reusing some old stuff, and that's why we kind of like beat them in a way.
Sure.
And like we have to see because Sentinels is playing really well, and they're bringing like a lot of new tech. So yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, that's the really interesting thing about Sentinels is because they have like the multiple comps they can play on some maps like Lotus, right? Because they played Deadlock way back at the start of Stage 2. Then we're switching to some more like natural things, the Breach in there, and then go back to the Deadlock. So it's very interesting to see how their practice has given them that added element of flexibility. Whereas a team like 100 Thieves, even on their standout maps, now there's just so much tape on that team that teams know almost exactly what they're going to get.
And we're going to throw over to a quick chat featuring so much New Jersey that basically every intersection with a 5-mile radius has had a car accident. So let's hear from Elizabeth, who caught up with Zekin.
Oh dear.
Now, Zekin, Sentinels has a lot of championship points from the way you've played throughout the year. Is that a relief of pressure? Is that confident going into today's game?
The points are definitely nice to have, but I would prefer not to qualify with them. I'd rather qualify by winning to get to the tournament, but they're definitely nice to have.
I just want to ask you, it's something I've noticed on your social media. Anytime you lose as a team, you seem on social media to take losses pretty seriously. That like that's on me, et cetera, et cetera. Talk to me about that. Do you take them seriously? Is that trolling? How do you recover from a loss?
I always take losses pretty seriously, but just take a good amount of time to get a good reset and get ready for the next one.
Well, best of luck today.
All right, so let's talk about the Pride of New Jersey here for a moment. Zekken, his role obviously on Sentinels, and also like how he went in that G2 game, right? Because he's definitely someone that Sentinels need to be leading from the front.
Yeah, of course. It was pretty odd to see that he actually kind of got duelist stiff by Icy, who for the most part is more of the system duelist that we haven't been, you know, hyping up too much in regard to his individual play versus Zekken, who kind of does it all. That was the first time we've really seen
Zekken the best duelist in the world, like after Madrid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that was against G2 a rare low point for what otherwise has been a year of all highs for one of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah, and I would even say, like, even after Sentinels came back and were struggling a bit, like, Zekken is still a guy that I rate super, super highly on this roster, but is a player that needs to perform. Now that they're in this situation where it's single elimination, you come in with an off-day Zekken, and you're in serious trouble against a team like Thieves.
Yeah, I would say, like, they rely a lot of him. Like, if he's not fragging, it's gonna be super hard to win. Because, like, most of the firepower is between him and 10 sometimes. So if he's not delivering, like, it's gonna be super rough for them.
And we've seen that, of course, in the past and against G2 as well. Another team who definitely likes to rely on their duelists to get stuff done. We can talk about 100 Thieves here who've been in a slump, and similar to that Sentinels stage 1 slump, right? Getting back after Madrid. They've lost 3 matches in its stage 2, and they also got reverse swept by Loud just coming off this. So plenty to talk about here. They look like they had a really strong start. That ascent map, right? They look very good. You guys really started to sort of choke the game out a bit, and especially that bind showing.
I mean, yeah, like, we pretty much had it under control. I'm not gonna lie, like, the first map we don't talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Never happened.
Never happened, of course. But, like, we understand how 100 Thieves is calling, how they're, like, doing all the stuff they want to do. So for us, it was kind of like, okay, we know how to counter this. Don't get nervous. We know what, like, if they do this, they're going to do that. And I think that's one of the problems they have right now. Like, they're too predictable in what they do. So, yeah, they're going to have to change it for playoffs, because if not, they're just going to get rolled.
You feel like their bind especially is starting to get figured out?
Yeah, it's the same bind, like, for a month now. So, yeah, it's kind of, like, easy to read.
Yeah. I'm curious what some of those reads you have on them are on their bind. Like, what are those things that you find so predictable in their play?
So, if this is going to be silly, right? But, like, they're going B long, right? So if they go up to the orb, it's going to be 100% an exec on B. That's the first tell. If they, I think if they dog showers on A, it's going to be an exec A.
Okay.
So it's kind of like these tailings, they're not switching up, you know? Like, they're not hiding those tailings, and it's always kind of like the same. So, yeah.
So teams should, in theory, be able to, like, lean very heavily off of that type of information.
Fast rotations, TP rotations, so it's a lot of those techs you can have against them.
Well, let's get a 100 Thieves vibe check right now and hear what Boostio had to say to Elizabeth leading up to this game.
All right, now Boostio, last match you were starting out really, really strong, and then just Loud kind of came and ran with it. What happened?
I mean, realistically, I think on bind, we just kind of threw on the attack side. We just didn't play it properly like we normally do. I think the ascent was super dominant, so that was good to see, 13-1. So we just need to just play confident, just play to our game plan.
Is mentality different for today's matches?
I don't think mentality is different. I think we come in with the same mentality every day, just trying to win. We just went over a lot of stuff, and now we know what we need to do to win.
That confidence. Now I'm going to need you to look into the camera and give me your Boostio prediction, a prediction, if you will, about the 4 teams from Americas that will make it to champs.
Us, of course, Leviathan, and then I'll go Crew G2. We'll beat Sen today, and then they'll lose out, and then Lev will lose out in uppers, and then to lowers, and then Sen will make it. Or Sen won't make it, sorry.
Sen won't make it. Sorry, Sen City.
Don't ask a player like what's going to happen to anything outside of what his team is doing. Like, they're so locked in at the moment. They can't be thinking about the periphery. But we just talked about Zekken on Sentinels and how critical he is. I think we should be talking about Cryo, because we actually bring this up a ton of times on the cast. Like, Cryo has, like, what, a 1.33 KD in stage 1, and then it's like at 0.9 in stage 2. This is his performance over the course of VCT 2024. ACS is the y-axis, and obviously time is on that x-axis here. And you can see a big peak just before Shanghai, and then, well, it's a little bit
into Shanghai. That first game they had against Foot is when he torched them on bind, dropped like 30-something on
Brimstone, right?
And then after that, steep drop off, and it's been tumultuous in stage 2, but in those last 2 games started to pick things up a bit. I mean, sadly for you. You don't have to watch this if you don't want to.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
about what Cryo was doing with the op here.
Yeah,
but
I would say like every time he's on Jet, it's just so annoying. It's impossible to deal with him. That's the thing that bothers me on 100 Thieves. Like if I were him, I would just just play Jet every single map. You know, like do your thing and whatever you have to do. Just I don't know, the team Arsenal can play whatever. You know, but just put him on Jet. Jesus Christ, he's amazing.
Now, there's been a ton of chat. Like, we love making rivalries, right? We've got two highly clouted teams. We want them to be rivals. It's kind of editorializing. This is a classic NA matchup, and it does always fill the arena. Shout out to everybody down there in the stands, but it's actually not much of a rivalry at all when you look at the history between them.
Yeah. Basically, 100 Thieves don't win this series. They've got a win in 2022 in LCQ, and they were popping off back with Hiko.
I mean,
like this team
2020
was jiffing Sentinels with Hiko.
That's crazy. 2 big wins. Wow, twice in the first strike, NA closed qualifier.
It's like EU here as well doesn't want to hear about a rivalry here. I think that's the last thing the 100 Thieves are really thinking about.
Honestly, if they lose to Sen again today, I think Steel is coming for Boostio's job.
No.
He's coming right back.
No, Steel's coming back because he didn't get the frozen yogurt offer like Nade Shot made to Boostio. He said, if you guys are, you know.
I mean, speaking of Nade Shot, he's in the comments of that tweet like, wait, is this real? Like, he doesn't even realize that they've been getting smoked for 2+ years.
I think the last 100 Thieves win was, LCQ. That was when Shroud was on Sentinels.
Yeah.
That's how far back we're getting.
Bro, I'm feeling so old. What's happening?
And if it makes you feel old, then imagine how I feel. Yeah, it was a very long time ago. Listen, I think it's safe to say that odds are favouring Sentinels here. Definitely the historical data has favoured them. I'd say the form of that team as well
100%.
Puts them in a better position, right?
Yeah, Sentinels have been much hotter in stage 2, right? Sentinels had the big fall off after they won in Madrid, but then, stage 1 was a disaster. Stage 2, they pop off. 100 Thieves, the same thing happens when they come back from Masters, where they really struggle here in stage 2. They haven't beaten a team in playoffs in stage 2. They've only got 2 wins, and they're against teams that weren't able to advance. This team is in some dire straits right now.
Have they had enough time to step up, to work on this pool?
I am concerned about 100 Thieves map pool. That is the biggest detractor for me right now.
We have to see on Abyss, right? Because they might bring something new and might have an edge, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be super hard.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot, of course, to be asking for from this team. The stage is set, though, folks. Now, neither of these teams are necessarily eliminated here. Champion points are important, but it's time to send it down to the stage and get this one underway, folks. Let's get it on.
Riot Games Arena, it's time for the NA Classico, a battle between 2 of the region's best teams. Make some noise for your Sentinels! Fighting for a spot at Champions in Seoul. Make some noise for 100 Thieves!
Now, folks, we've established that this isn't a rivalry, but by God, it could be. Both of these teams are still on the docket, at least in the postseason here, potentially for champions. But a lot rides on today's match. We talked a lot about a very suspect map pool here for 100 Thieves. They might be in their playoffs best, but they're going to have to bring that into the game.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've got the best team from Kickoff versus the best team from Stage 1, and with a brand new map pool, too. Split is gone for Sentinels. That is a major loss. And the question remains, how much time, how much work has been done into a map like Abyss for these two teams, if that even enters the pool?
For sure. I'm excited to see as well what Sentinels will be bringing out
It's coming.
in regard to some of their comps, because they've been switching things up. And yeah, we've got Abyss at the end. No bind for the first time many weeks in a row for 100 Thieves.
I remember Heaven being one of the best maps for 100 Thieves last year. So I think like they know, they have an understanding of how the map works. So I think they can take that from Sentinels. I see Sentinels more like, I don't know, like it's weird when they play Heaven. Because I play against them, you know?
Yes.
I mean, I remember some Sentinels versus Crew Haven stuff from way back in the day. But honestly, 100 Thieves in Stage 2, Haven looked really shaky to me. They were playing like the weird KO comp for a couple of games, then started banning it away themselves.
It was just a straight up Ascent comp.
Yeah,
on
it was
Haven.
very strange. And I'm expecting them now
they know.
3-4 weeks since they played it to have made some adjustments.
They know how to fix it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know.
Okay.
I'm betting they know. I'm 100%. Yes.
He's confident.
Confidence.
All right. Here's our agent select here. We have Sova Breach on the side of Sentinels here.
Very standard for Sentinels from what we've been seeing on Haven in 2024 so far since it's back in the pool.
I just want to know if it's KO. Like, that's literally it. Like, did 100 Thieves adjust with this comp, or did they completely pivot in the time they've had since they've played it?
Whoa!
Right.
This is a challenger comp! This is a esports comp, boys!
Okay, I was going to say we're EMEA now, but, you know, it's same difference.
We were seeing this a month ago.
EMEA and a tier 2. It's the same thing.
It's amazing. I knew it. ISO. This is after the nerf.
Post nerf. Post nerf.
Oh my. Okay, Cryo, you have my respects. You had it with Jet, and now you're gonna have it.
All right, you heard it here first. Sarnak is doling out his respect to 100 Thieves. The winner of this one moves on to face G2 tomorrow, and the loser is officially, potentially eliminated for playoffs. We're ready for map number 1, so let's head over your casters. It's Vansili and Riff.
Thank you so much, Uber, and indeed now, Riv, this is it, the final lap now of the VCT Americas circuit, a do-or-die game now between Sentinels and 100 Thieves, and sometimes when it's a do-or-die game, you gotta pull out all stops, and we're seeing now a little bit of EMEA, a little bit of whatever, but it's definitely something that Fnatic's been pulling out lately.
Yeah, we saw Fnatic running this comp recently, and it looks like Thieves want to get a little crazy on this. ISO, not something we've seen Cryo playing at all, so he's gonna try his hand at that. Asuna might have this Yoru play way back when in a game. Yeah, they're definitely dipping into something new on this one, and we'll see if Sentinels is going to be ready. We got a best of 3 ahead of us right here as we get our next game of playoffs going. It's Sentinels versus 100 Thieves on Haven.
And remember here, points do matter, but they definitely want to secure and take control of their own destiny for these two teams. Both of them trying to lock a top 3 podium to make it into Champions as Seoul. And now with this pistol round, it's only going to be tens against the whole world trying to walk up here. A 4-1 split for 100 Thieves to start. There's their first contact, though. He's going to have to slow things down, hit by a shock dart, but he wants to stand his ground.
They're staying in the site. Yeah, everybody's trying to pile in right now to make this just a fight right off the bat.
And that's how you start. Osno with the first blood here in this pistol round. Shock darts raining towards that back. It's going to damage Celsius for a bit, who does get position, but he's also left on an island alone. Action has calmed down for a bit, though. The smokes has dissipated, and bang goes for the plant. So Celsius is just looking for this timing. And so far for the Thieves, they're not going to check this back in. They're trying to focus towards the garage.
They're playing close, even taking down the smokes right away. They decide to stay in sight, and Celsius gets banged. Cryo falls too.
And that's what happens. You don't check the corner, but Osno's there for that second blood for the Thieves in this post plant. A 3 versus 3. And we're a little bit separated now for the last 2 players of Sentinels. It goes back and forth, but John Cuny's alone. Back to a 1v1. 10 HP. EU has a recon dart who throws it back towards the back of the site. John Cuny pushes down with the shift that he picked up. But it comes out with the right click classic. And 100 Thieves get the pistol.
Forward strat, straight to C, staying inside the site. Sentinels as well, playing a few mind games, putting more numbers in the site. Zelsis was kind of play the ghost spot, right? If they've already killed 10s, they're not expecting Zelsis, but they didn't get as much of a payoff out of that, I think, as they wanted here. Those first 2 kills were great, but it was 100 Thieves that was able to recoup their positioning. We'll find this last kill from EU here. EU has had some stellar games lately, and especially when he starts off on those clutches, it gets them going right away.
Definitely one of the most consistent players, 400 Thieves, going into Shanghai until now in EU, winning that 1v1 against a John Cutie, a Frag and IGL, who's also very good in the clutch. So a great start for 100 Thieves.
All right, back to C. They won't do it again. It's kind of the mentality that 100 Thieves is playing on, and they should be able to walk in safely here, knowing Sentinels is going to play a death ball somewhere on the map. They're right about that. It's at A, and that knowledge should come to Boostio if the rotation even goes through spawn.
It's in a great spot right here, but remember that tweet that came out that was shown at the desk. 14 clashes between these two teams throughout the years. Of course, different iterations of rosters, but in the end, these wins from 100 Thieves have always been in elimination games against the Sentinels, knocking them out of first strike, knocking them out of the LCQ.
Just at the right moment.
Exactly, and this might be another right moment right here. But action back now towards the seaside, a flood retake. Paranoia to start things first, and Sentinels, though, somehow score the first 2 kills. This is going to leave you alone. Gets a blind kill, and it swings out from Zelsis. Chances raining back now for the Sentinels. A stick on to the spike, but stop by bang. Long range with the classic. Boostio cannot get the lurk, but that clock is ticking down here with all the kills. In the end, it's still a 100 Thieves win.
Very bloody round coming up for Sentinels on to 100 Thieves. That's going to feel good heading into the bonus here. And I love the way Sentinels played it on the retake. Kind of a nothing to lose as they head in, all behind each other with confidence on those takes. And yeah, a lot of firefights happening right off the bat as it seems like 100 Thieves, we'll see in the gun rounds here, but they're playing inside the site fully with this composition that they're bringing to the table. We have not seen a long C fight yet on those C plants. Towards A here for the bonus round. Already, Asuna has this ultimate. So plants, orbs, kills, only 3 there. So you know he's picking them up somewhere else. A little feint towards A here as they start to make some noise outside B. And it does look like they'll happily send a clone garage to try and make some plays happen. But it's sewers where it starts off.
Both star duelists not afraid to walk down and get their individual duels. And now you see the shield coming up and also the dimensional drift. They're going to spot that onto Sasi, who's able to run away and get 2 kills on top of that.
Shouldn't have happened.
At least Asuna has taken control of this A site, given a chance for a plant to come down and for Bang with the utility he has to try to support, but you see how separate they are. They're afraid of a flank. So it's Asuna that has to at least get 1 or 2 to give a chance here for 100 Thieves to win this gun round. And it starts off well. A first kill there onto John Cutie. Both flashes depleted. Hunter's Fury coming out now, wasted out by the defensive side, but it's good enough for these 2 kills. Pushing out the last 2 players, 100 Thieves, and Sentinels will get their gun round converted.
What an answer from Sasi to have the round where they snuff out Asuna's ultimate 2 on the dimensional drift. It seemed like the way 100 Thieves brings this comp to the table, they're going forward all the time. They're playing with the aggression of both the Yoru and the ISO on different portions of the map. And here it didn't even matter. The shield as well being broken as he came through the box. Such a boon there to Sasi's play in the retake from Sentinel. Super confident. That was a big one for Sen to win there. Like we said, they did a lot of damage over there towards 100 Thieves on the previous round. So it helped to chip away and start that round in their favor as they were retaking.
Resets the economy right away from 100 Thieves and understanding the economy against their opponents. This should be easy pickings. That's 2 for 1. But you'll take it for the Sentinels. There's still John Cutie there for the support. Zekin has fallen by the hands of the attack side of 100 Thieves, and all 3 players remaining kind of separated. Boostio is trying to force a rotate somewhere. So the last 2 here could work the site together.
Just toying with the garage. Last round it was the Yoru clone that went through. Now they play it slow. Boostio seems like he's actually trying to figure out the map right now. Take all of this time to see where that util might be and where he might be able to make Sentinels think about these future rounds.
Exactly. Breaking now and wasting the util towards the garage, breaking the alarm bot. You see this peeling away the 2 players from Sentinels, but unfortunately, exactly, he walks through 2 players waiting towards the window. He gets picked off, and the rest of Sentinels could really kind of stay towards this A site, even wait for their teammates to come back to secure the round. But at least the silver lining for the 100 Thieves is that they get the plant down.
And it's smart from Sentinels. The retake has always been amazing. Although out of the map pool, just think of how they play split. A site's given up, and then they can just swarm it from different positions and seemingly take down their opponent.
At least we've avoided all the util. I just saw Bang, though. Guy hit a bit by that paranoia thrown by Tens. Trying to get a Marshall shot, pushing through the smoke. There you go. Wilson falling down.
Yeah.
Isolate on different fights. Util not good on the attack side on the post plan, and Sentinels already tie up the game here on their map. Pick up Haven.
Pushing back very, very strong. And I think we now need to see when guns come back up what this 100 Thieves composition is supposed to do if we're really thinking about it. It can't be played default. You're not just going to get into sites by hitting a few flashes here and there. Let's see how they're going to use Cryo. Let's see how they're going to use Asuna on these two. And yeah, in 2024, you can see that stat. So different direction that 100 Thieves is looking for as well in that sense.
Yeah, first time double duelist rather in 2024. First time ISO on Cryo.
Yeah.
They're actually trying to leverage him towards the garage to start, but for Sentinels, they're looking for this control in the choke of the A site. And they've done this with only 2 players instead of a breach utility. They're reading the push potentially towards the C site, and there's a bit of utility being thrown by 100 Thieves to try to push them back, and that will be a stalemate for a bit. Time now for both of these teams to try to find the information in the mid-round.
Sentinels playing reactive too. Kind of moving Zelsis around the map, keeping those fault lines from preventing 100 Thieves to play fast with this composition. You can do that because you have the push up from Zekin on A this time. You don't have to fault line sewers. So really moving off the ball on the map to get themselves into good positions. And Zekin may find something here with Saucy backing him up.
And they activated the shield towards the garage, so you're trying to keep those players isolated on C, and they instantly fall towards the A side. Beautiful picks coming out from 100 Thieves as soon as the cage came down, and that's an open site for grabs for the Thieves.
In 100 Thieves, you just mentioned it, the ISO at garage. What was Boostio doing last round? Into garage, front of B, into garage. Keeping members of Sentinels over towards that side of the map with different players at different times. Is it enough this time, though? The retakes from Sentinels have been so strong, and 100 Thieves continues to fall in this post-plant situation.
It'll be very difficult, too. You already see EU posted up towards the sewers with the Hunter's Fury as a last resort, and especially after John Cutie falls, IGL versus IGL from a one-way smoke thrown by Bang. You can see the last 2 players trying to fall back. Flash being thrown, but Tens was always ready for that. Diffing now Asuna, and giving a chance here for the last few players of the Sentinels to attempt to save their weapons here in the pulse plan, but you see somebody's on the hunt so far. It's EU here. They don't have too much economy to work with, so this is a high risk here for 100 Thieves. Trying to drop these weapons, and it works out for the first pick. But the rest, the last player, Tens, is going to be okay.
And look at that. It's like, you look at the scoreboard there for who went down on 100 Thieves at the end, and it was the duelist. It's kind of the way this needs to happen, right? Those 2 up front making plays, causing distractions, while the initiators and the Sentinels, the rest of the team is following up on that chaos, on that action over the shoulder of their duelists. See Boostio still hyping up the team, getting them ready as 100 Thieves take that 1-point lead. Blade Storm for Zekin here as they can get a little bit of money econ saved on that.
They're going to try to fault line here and potentially push down. Blade Storm activated by Zekin. Just looking for that timing. Zekin, there's that contact. Down to 8 HP. The swing out from Tens, who drops 2.
So big.
Bang, though, answers back. Spike still available to get picked up. But that's a great first contact now for the Sentinels on their defensive side.
Map coverage is there. And again, they move Zelsis around with the breach. It's not used immediately on that sewer. So very reactive play from Sentinels here in some situations, and set protocols like that 100 Thieves have to be ready for. And now 3v4. They have to make their way and see.
Trying to walk contact up, but there's a slight step that was made here by 100 Thieves walking up, so this should be heard. Zekin only with the classic left, but you definitely do see he has probably a blade or 2 left. Nonetheless, Plant comes down. Bang TPing away and keeping the last 2 players inside the site. Hunter's Fury also not positioned to play long range, so it's a fake cancel to fight towards the spawn.
All right, lockdown's there. It does kind of pin Boostio in. I don't know who's going to make it out. Up to Bang to take one down instantly. Here's the Hunter's Fury. He's going to drop one in seconds, just in line with it, catching a pie to the face.
And Bang's inside the smoke. Boostio's towards the back of the platform, connects with another kill. And now Zelsis is left alone. 1 versus 3, wall banged by EU. And the Hunter's Fury was everything there for the 100 Thieves conversion of the post plant.
Oh, what a play. A little bit of a mishap. An error picked up by the side of 100 Thieves. Nicely done there to collect the kill with the Hunter's Fury, able to deny the lockdown too, as that would have been a good round for 100 Thieves to get back in this round for round. It would have been 3-3 to get that momentum back, but it's not. 100 Thieves pull away. And these C hits have been so aggressive. We haven't seen them fully push in to spawn or into garage and stay there, but they are just staying in C and making it very hard for any util that the Sentinels is using to work.
And how was that heads-up play there from EU? You saw from that post plant, he was already holding towards the spawn, and once that lockdown went through, he's like, okay, what should I do here at this point? Should I fight towards the spawn? Ran all the way back, and he was still inside the radius of that lockdown to just pull out the Hunter's Fury and do whatever he can here to hopefully or break the lockdown and get kills, and he's done both.
So Sentinels call a timeout here. What are we seeing, right? They are trying strategies. They are trying to push themselves forward, but you have to consider that against 100 Thieves composition, if that fault line and that detection doesn't work, 100 Thieves is going to strike back 10 times harder with these duelists, with the speed that they can hit a site and then continue to follow up on each other. So anything that Sentinels does do, they almost have to hit a few players or do some chip damage, or 100 Thieves is going to feel so confident to go forward.
And it's also crazy now with this 100 Thieves from we've seen for the past few rounds, where they're using and setting a lot of their paranoia with Asuna, with the decoys coming out, Gate Crash to go away, but also Cryo selling fakes with the shield coming up too. So there are doing some great default to try to keep just Sentinels pinned up in these locations so they can fight in the weak side with more numbers. So Sentinels off this timeout. Maybe it's for them to try to find more aggression, more map control at the beginning of these rounds to not allow 100 Thieves to work that map so well and so easily.
It did work. They get a little bit of this early control on A main, but it's still 100 Thieves are loving seeing Boostio. Just a quick swing on Saucy right there, who's been hot on the first shot. Saucy goes down, and C is already taken by 100 Thieves.
Oh, they're trying to play it. Instead of waiting for the rotate across, but here comes the kill contract. It does grab one, and it's TenZ winning against Cryo. So given a chance here for Sentinels to fight inside the garage. John Cutie with the headshot onto Boostio. Revenge from the last time they faced off against each other a couple of rounds ago, and that actually gives a huge advantage for the Sentinels to have a 2-player up.
Great, and Boostio was the first kill on this round to Saucy, right? And then just turnaround. Sentinels on the other side of the map. And it looks like John Cutie and the team are reading this C over and over again. The 100 Thieves were playing into, so they set up well. Lose one on the extremity, but the way they recuperate there was so good. Now, I mean, the 4v2 is still a possibility here for 100 Thieves, but Sentinels are going to play this one close to the chest.
We'll start off with a recon play. Since they don't have Saucy, it's a TP from TenZ that's going to spawn Asuna, which will then engage the Paranoia and a Flood retake for the Sentinels. There it is on that default, both avoided by EU and Asuna. Another attempt to clutch, but to no avail. Sentinels with a clean retake towards the end, and they're going to keep this game close.
Only 2 rounds 100 Thieves get as they try to stretch the lead, and Sentinels start to creep back into it.
Make that one now.
It's so crazy. I don't know if momentum was really going to count here. I think it's almost a trick in this series because it could look like a team has 5 rounds of momentum, but shots like this, Sentinels reading the play, and it starts to go back the other way, and that momentum is lost. We'll see if they can continue it. That's a post plant they get for themselves, and really where they're only finding the wins. If you look at the scoreboard, it's not coming from kills. It's coming from having to get into the site and completely push out the 100 Thieves members. Asuna's ultimate back up. Second one we're getting in this half. I don't think we have any much to rebuttal here on the side of Sentinels. In the first, slower round we're seeing here from 100 Thieves.
I'm trying to use potentially a decoy or a shield, something to break util once again inside the garage. There's that decoy, spots a turret, wastes out the first nanoswarm, and it's been the story pretty much so far for 100 Thieves. Those nanoswarms that are popped very early from that util coming out from Asuna doesn't give them too much to hold towards the C side after.
And normally loss of Garage doesn't feel bad, but for some reason the way 100 Thieves is playing it kind of feels bad for Sentinels, right? Usually you either play site or just in back of Garage, but the way that 100 Thieves is exploiting that, or they push somewhere else or use Garage for fake info, has been really, really good. So a minute left in this round. They're going back to toying with this utility at the front side of B as they're still all the way across the map. And no gate crash to travel either.
And right now, Sentinels were looking to find information at the mid-round, and Aldrone came out towards long, but it was blocked by smoke on the attack, so they have to play in the unknown. It gets checked in the corner here from the dimensional drift. Second forced to dash away, at least makes it out to safety, but there's a TP coming from the back, and he's now pinched and sandwiched from both angles, and EU gets the kill off the Saucy, though, towards the back of the side. Celsius with his support from Graffiti as they all fall down. And now trying to fight back, but that pesky shield up from Cryo gives a chance now for 100 Thieves to convert the round and continue the lead by 2.
Okay, that was an incredibly sick play. Asuna goes through, hides in above sewers, activates, it comes back out, and then you see how pinched Zekin actually is. There was almost fear in his movement of where can he take the first fight to make it the correct play. And that smoke in front of Cryo in that situation. Sorry, Asuna was so smart. I believe that was a smoke from them. Yeah, so nice. It was actually a smoke that came from the side of Sentinel, so it was very helpful. They thought they were helping Zekin get out, but it helped the fight happen at sewers. So 100 Thieves playing off that one. Do not let Sentinels get too much more off of their last round win. But this push from Zekin, he is trying to change the flow of the game for Sentinels. Somebody has to at this point. It seems like 100 Thieves will just keep creeping away one round after the other.
That's been the story here, always on pretty much a one and done here for Zekin. You've seen him push down towards sewers, long C this time, under the window. But that's going to give good information here because there's no camera there. For them, Sentinels, they have potentially an inkling that this is just going to be a fast hit, and it starts off indeed with a great hit, a great read, but Saucy's still a first to fall.
And Boostio's ready for this flank too. Two of them coming through.
The buddy system. John Cutie now meeting up with Zekin. And he's just playing the off angle. There's a ping there, at least onto the trip. There's a swing out. Zekin wins that fight quite easily. Aldrone trying to clear, trying to find some info. A 4 versus 4. And the first one to start things off, it's at long. Big paranoia. Meanwhile, though, we've lost a player on the defensive side in the sewers as Celsius is now blocked off by a dark cover of the Omen. Asuna with the spray onto Zekin, and that's not going to give any chance for Celsius to move in to help.
Cryo and Asuna just hiding under and held together, waiting for somebody to peek. That would be terrifying to see. And 100 Thieves take another one. And they're consistent in the confidence that they're taking these sites with. When they hit C, they're always on C. They have one lurk. It might be Boostio, but they're behind default. They're into the site, and Sentinels can't do much to get back in if they have not found one of the first kills in the round. An A play consists of just somebody continuously watching sewers. Boostio goes down, and they still have it covered. They have an answer for everything they're doing. With the speed they're getting to the site, they have so much time to think about how Sentinels can get back in, and they're thinking about it right all the way home. Hunter's Fury here for Saucy. Up against Boostio's ult if they do find a body somewhere on the map. And back to just this default C. It's not default C, but this regular C strat. They've been playing a 4-1. Boostio reads the map with info.
Ooh, trying to go for a blind ult now towards the A site. Boostio is going to get the call for the rest of 100 Thieves to start tempoing up towards the C side. Through the smoke, Kenzes falling to Asuna. Site now open, up for grabs once again for the Thieves to move in for a plant. Asuna's just trying to delay here. Flash is being thrown towards the spawn. There is that late lurk. A free kill there for Boostio. And the Hat's going to get a lot of information to get assistance onto the Hunter's Fury. But then just floods way too much against Sentinels. Saucy now alone and forced to do nothing but save and attempt to save his Bulldog. It's going to be difficult, though. Asuna winning low HP, the ADS not even needed.
Wow, man.
4 kills in the round for 100 Thieves, and they're starting to really run away here with this first half.
Finding a groove with this composition, and so big on Boostio to find the Cypher ult early. It is so much better when you get it when half of the team is alive, right? And obviously, that's an easy thing to say, but what does it take to get the ult that early, right? The push going through mid. Boostio having read this utility round after round from garage to B, garage to B, and when they go and play the C strat again, Who's the one making trouble for the rotations? Boostio.
And off the timeouts, you're expecting here that Sentinels wanted to push some players forward. You're seeing right now, again, an attempt here to put Zekin down towards the sewers and a lower buy that you currently have for the Sentinels. But for the Thieves, they don't mind. They're getting so many plants right now and even not afraid to fight towards the spawn and to continue to trap against 100 Thieves. And they're playing a continuous wrong attack side until finally TenZ allows the first blood to score here for the Sentinels.
Little revenge. Little revenge there. Answers back. It wasn't Asuna, but he'll take it. All right, and you see Sen not moving. Look at how much they expect it to still be anywhere on the map right now, because that's exactly what they've seen every round. They have to be so aware that the 100 Thieves is going to pop out of anywhere. It's going to be that mid B again. Just to toy with it and mess with this. Still 50 seconds left, and with Boostio hanging around the right side, they can still do something funky.
It'll be the same thing again, just trying to move up and break the alarm, but this time around, a different look, though, after they've lost EU at the beginning. No recon dart, no Allen drone to try to clear out towards the side, so a decoy. Zekin was trying to swing out to make a play, and Cryo was already waiting there to assist. The kill comes through, and he has a shield activated.
Here we go, all the way around into the site on A. And they're going to get the plant down because Boostio's already taken the space. The way that they're reading the map right now is absolutely immaculate. Sentinels cannot find themselves a cheeky kill. Oh, they do on a Marshall, and then it seems like everything is held in place.
Given a kill contract, but it's going to be that 1v1. John Cutie losing that one to Cryo. Meanwhile, the plant has come down to push towards the spawn. The Paranoia TenZ trying to win fights with the Marshall. There's a connection, but at least once again, for 100 Thieves, there's always a second player behind.
Also, you see people getting trolled by Yoru clone because it's been maybe a few weeks since you saw one in a game. Maybe not in scrims as much, so you're definitely shooting that first person in these tense moments. The Yoru clone goes off, mistake, boom. Kills are coming. 100 Thieves is finding these little areas that they get the advantage in, and they are squeezing on each one. They come up with another round, 8-3 here as we come into the final round of the first half. Good ults for Sentinels on the retake. Again, that's all they've been able to get is 3 post-plant retakes when they've finally taken all the members of 100 Thieves out. Back towards mid. And yeah, it feels like 100 Thieves know that they are making Sentinels sweat with just getting this formation in mid and playing the sides of the map. Crazy.
Asuna could really just try to ult.
Yeah.
Get information towards the C site, but instead he's going to go for a gate crash and keeping those players for Sentinels towards the C site.
How is he doing this? How is he always doing this? He's in A now.
Who's next?
It looks like he's trying to defend the site.
And that's how you're going to find information once again. Just trying to stay up here on the second. Spots the second one too, and Saci is the one that's going to get sprayed. Coming outside now from the dimensional drift. The punch forward with the flash! Asuna getting that pick there onto second. But a little bit of an overheat though. Boostio just got picked off running through the smoke by Zelsis. As there's still a chance now for Sentinels to hold their ground. Lockdown still available, but all of them anchored inside this A site just to play at least a trade system for Sentinels. You already see here for the Thieves. They're looking to pull back because of this forward position from Cryo outside towards the A lane to B.
Look at that. They can send the spike into sight and not even have to go. The choices 100 Thieves has to play with right now, and they're going to get that planet B like you said. Lockdown will be used as it is a last round to at least get some more space back here, and it's going to be big from TenZ. Kingpin on this round if TenZ can find the back of a few members.
He could. He TP'd so far away that it hasn't been heard. Trying to find the first players coming through. There's that fault line, but there should be a trade coming out. And there's a swing up, but it misses from the EU. Finally connects onto that shot. One-way smokes being thrown. John Cutie and Zelsis alone against 3 players of the Thieves. There's a spray across the one-way. Asuna capping on the last 2 kills. And 100 Thieves will close at the half with the lead 9-3.
Coming to work with a job to do, and they keep that win condition alive. The double duelist composition is not one, especially the ISO and the Yoru, that you can sit back, that you can play a waiting game. They took it to 100. They took it to Sentinels every single round, and Boostio was a god around the map to make sure the information was right and the plays worked.
Great call so far from the Thieves, and now Sen will get a chance to attack after the break.
Hey everyone, it is Elizabeth here in the crowd for a nice sideline halftime report. And I've been in the crowd, I've been going back and forth looking at the teams. The teams are taking the single elim very seriously. The vibes are not necessarily serious, but they are focused and trying to win the game. In terms of the crowd itself, pretty dead even in terms of 100 Thieves versus Sentinels fans. 100 Thieves? Sen City, are you here? I would like to add that Busio started the halftime standing up. So I think that it is 3 or 4 times Busio has stood up and stared across the way. But I would like to add that Zealous and Busio did have like a shouting match where they couldn't hear each other because their headphones before the game started. And they're like, what? No, you! And that was interesting to watch. But so far, I don't think that has happened between them during the game itself. But it is, you have to be here to feel this energy. The energy is so intense. Everyone, they're talking to each other like, ha ha ha. There is nothing quite like a Sentinels 100 Thieves game at the Riot Arena. And we have some of our analyst friends down here, Uber and Sonic, ready to throw some things. So friends, take it away.
Thank you so much, Liz, here for the halftime report. Yes, the vibes are definitely good. And you know what? It makes sense for Busio to stand up and look down here over the Sentinels roster when he's been calling so well here on the attack side. And now a chance for John Cutie to do the same thing. The Cutie stands for quality tactics, so they're hoping right now on the attack side to bring it back. Haven has always been looking at, recent and even past matches that it does favor a little bit of the attack side. So there's a chance right now still for the Sentinels team to come back here, but piss around definitely important.
Now you just got me imagining Busio playing from a tower, looking down with his scope. just looking down on the peasants. All right, what do they have? Sentinels need to start off strong. We saw them calling the first timeout last half. We're not liking the vibe that they were getting, and only 3 rounds on that defensive side. It is tougher to choose where the enemies are going to be and trying to figure it out. See if Zekin can make the plays here.
Just trying to do a split. The fault line allows him to move forward, but look at the 100 Thieves players tucked in. So not able to capitalize on a kill. Now Zekin's stuck and Cryo activates the shield, but at least that's no shield for the retake for 100 Thieves. On towards it. Ace, let us see you jumps up. Catches 10s off guard. And that's the advantage now for 100 Thieves by 2. As they move in now slowly inside the A site. Contact play. First goes shot by John Cutie inside Hell. There's that second one. The quality tactics continue with the third onto Busio. Now a 2 versus 2. Saucy is there to help with John Cutie, who does not need his help, towards the Hell. And Pistol is for Sentinels.
And the first kill coming out for Cryo onto Zekin too. Something we'll have to watch, as you know Zekin's going to be on the front line trying to make space here as a single duelist for Sentinels. But John Cutie coming up with 4 after that to absolutely sauce the round. And 100 Thieves have no idea what happened here. Just from the same spot too, and he kept playing on a little bit of the shoulder model. All right, back into it, and we said they needed some momentum to start. How about your IGL getting 4 on the Ghost? He's gonna stick with it too? Looks like they got a drop around, maybe giving Zekin that Vandal for this round.
Pretty much a lead by example there for John Cutie in that pistol round, and you see the respect though given by Sentinels on the attack. Still trying to just work the map slowly, trying to sniff out where the stack could potentially be here for the Thieves, but they haven't seen anything so far.
You know, they just let him hurry the Vandal, right? They're like, yeah, we do have this. Like, you don't want to play close. Little mind games. Zekin didn't have to do that. Could he easily just walked into sight and surprised with that heavy weapon. Good call on the cam, just gets it on the fadeaway, and they are going to hear a little bit of a retreat towards A. But now if they know Cypher's A, it's probably going to be a bit of a stack towards the middle of the map, ready to rotate back and forth. So they're hoping to choose a soft site, and they're going to walk right into the trap.
Exactly. Breaking that camera towards long, you're expecting that it's potentially a stack towards the A side. So the read now for John Cutie is, oh, maybe it's weak side towards C. But there's 3 players there. Execution comes through for the Sentinels, and there's that first blood. Shorty close range. Paranoia hitting so many players, but 100 Thieves are still holding the ground towards the seaside. A double flood, another double pump coming out from the Shorty of Asuna. But in the end, it's Busio on a 1 versus 2, only with a classic. Walking through. Oh, there's that dink on the first one of 10s, and Zeus is just trying to find that timing. But
oh my God.
You almost switched there for the Thieves. He had something else than a classic, and that could have been doable there for Busio.
Oh my word. That was supposed to be one of the easy rounds, right? that was close with those headshots there from Boostio, but Sen do get it. Pretty fine in any situation here is the way they were spending. They can still get weapons onto each other. Obviously, John Cuty's gonna have to wait a bit to do that as they drop another gun from the IGL. And Zelsis does still grab that Vandal. So we're gonna look at this bonus round pretty strong here, not to worry for the Sen fans.
Vulnerable to start.
Yeah.
Thrown right away by Cryos to go for the spray through the attack.
Just
smoke.
Spamming.
Nobody's going to get heavily damaged out of that, though, for Sentinels. But they've given that up and trying to regroup now towards this B site.
And they've moved over where Boostio's playing, so B is going to be open just in the back of the site. Bang is hiding.
A little bit of a body bump there, not giving a chance for Sentinels to set up towards this B site. Already, Zelsis is alone and already picked off by Asuna. Nice conversion and an answer back for the Thieves, who take the lead by 5.
What an interesting call. Bang just plays behind Gong to start the round. That is 100 Thieves being in the head.
Look at that
Sentinels.
right there. There was a cloud burst and it was an attempt for an updraft on the top with the TP, and it bumped into each other, and that kind of left second out in the open and not given a chance here for Sentinels to set up.
They expected to have more elevation on that fight to help each other. You're right. 100 Thieves able to just clamp down. Not even worried about how to approach it, just hitting the shots. Rolling Thunder's here, but that would, I feel like, a 9-1-1 play if they're just trying to save themselves. It is a low buy for Sentinels, so I don't think they're going to be able to do much with that. Cryo could pull a fight out if it gets scary, and notices Zekin has this Vandal. But yeah, they're comfortable having this kind of squad of ISO and Sova move around. Cryo, EU. Back and forth, trying to facilitate space to get one of these duelists going. And then they just use Asuna on the other side of the map because he can travel faster than anybody else with Gate Crash. So let's see how Sentinels approaches this.
With the hero rifle in the hands of Zekin, and the first Paranoia pushing through towards the garage. They're just trying to find information and hopefully break some utility, but there's nothing there. Converting a couple of kills, though, for Sentinels would start things off quite well because they also have exactly with that. The Hunter's Fury to pick up Boostio. That's no trip left towards the C site, and they also have a Rolling Thunder to be able to use towards the end of the pulse plan. Here's a 1v1 fight. Shield broken, and Barrett wins against Cryo Cells, but there's EU from the back. Fault line now pushing EU away. Spike now Planet. Remember, this Rolling Thunder is still available for Sentinels as Bang is trying to go for the hero play. Alarm bot sounded. Asuna left alone. Rolling Thunder might not even be needed at this point, as Zelsis is holding towards the Cubby or Asuna pretty much at this point. They have no choice but to potentially save. But John Cuty's going on the hunt. That gives his information away. He's just trying to make it expensive now against Sentinels, not give a chance here for the attack side on a pulse plan to upgrade weapons on their lower buy. And you finally see him giving us up.
Jeez.
Sentinels able to score here on the lower buy to convert their 6th round.
The hero rifle they've been trying to put on Zekin, Zeking, finally pays off. That was huge. If you think back to last week, last time we interviewed Kaplan between maps, they're kind of saying, you know, what is it you try to provide for Zekin? You know, is it something John Cuty actually focuses on? Kaplan mentioned that being such a good fragger, a duelist, and an aggressive player, and having such steady emotions as a player, Zekin doesn't have to start hot. He can go do his own thing. He can get it going in the middle of the game, get it going towards the end of the game. And he's the guy you give the hero rifle to get rounds like that out too. Huge stuff from the duelist, having to step up for Sentinels. All right, lockdown, Rolling Thunder still there. And they're gonna try to play into this A main area. 4 members of 100 Thieves.
A little bit more classic though. Tens goes for the TP across and he gets caught off guard because the vulnerable pushed the players away from Sentinels, isolating Tens in that corner. Look at Zelsis' HP, down to 3. Up to, once again, Zekin to try to open up the round. 4 Sentinels inside the C site.
Asuna looking pinched, but he could still make a play.
That's a 1-for-1. That's Zelsis, the one with low HP. Zekin then gets the shot on to Bang. A 3 versus 3. Cryo has nothing but a classic, and we're playing it safe. Lockdown now initiated for Sentinels to secure the plant. And putting Saucy closer to 100's Fury after this plant. 1 away. Zekin also continues to save the round for the Sentinels with another pick there onto EU.
It's time to reckon with Zekin. He is not happy on this attack side. And again, he is the only duelist. He has to go forward here. He has to be the one to make the plays. He knows the team is behind him. They go ahead for this post plant. Should be pretty easy to cover with no smokes being used. The gate goes up, but it only gives so much to Boostio.
Not planted for them really, so they have to try to push up. It's not really tucked inside that box, so Boostio is able to isolate the first hit, and there is that second cage to come up, sticking on to the plant down. It's at halfway. Saucy has to push forward. Boostio stuck it in! Oh, just got picked! Sentinels will still be able to convert that round!
He was closing the pliers on the wire! Oh my gosh, what a round for Sentinels to be able to grab. Saucy gets extra dessert at dinner tonight. That was put 100 Thieves on 11. The money would be absolutely crap for Sentinels. Yeah, that's a round that they absolutely need. I mean, there may be a low buy for them, but this secures a lot more. And Boostio. Holy.
He was at .04. And you see that trouble, what it looks like, but we'll hold that thought. There's already action going inside this A site for control. 4 players for the Thieves, all with weapons this time around. 4-1 setup, focusing on controlling the A sign. And once again, Sentinels want to give it up, and they go straight for the second gear. Move in towards the C site, try to get that pick.
How many rounds have they had these ultimates they've been able to win without using them? Still, they kind of have that get out of jail free card if anything goes crazy. Rolling Thunder still here, but they're just letting Zekken go in like we said. Rolling Thunder comes up. Let's see who they can get in the bounce house.
There's a Hunter's Fury 2 being answered back by EU, and there's that connection onto Zelsis. Bang
Another
also
one.
moves in, and a swarm comes across for the Thieves. Only one left alive instantly as all of the Sentinels fall inside the C site. Saucy cannot hold his ground inside the smoke, and once again, 100 Thieves have an instant answer back to Sentinels rounds.
A clean round of preparation for 100 Thieves there, knowing that the ultimate would be coming in the site. Majority of players off site. They know Zekken dashed in left side. EU starts off the chaos and all up the gut with Hunter's Fury. And yeah, Boostio just able to work on the platform here around the smoke, around the rest of the members of Sentinels. A lot of C control here is coming in from both teams this map, and it looks like 100 Thieves are ready to play a C after C game as we go back to A.
It's always been a brawl here for the Sentinels. Somehow, with 7 rounds that they scored so far, only one of them was a gun round won by the Sentinels overall in this first map. And it continues to be that story. Another gun round coming through, first blood for 100 Thieves, and potentially to convert a 5 versus 4. No ults to be used now for Sentinels for a hit towards the site. As Zekken is looking for the contact play. Cryo with the off angle. Easy kill on the first one. And then Zelsis cannot trade it out.
Jeez. Still trying to get a bit of that contact play is punishing them just before their flashes. But if those kills come in, Zekken runs free.
Turn it down.
They're just trying to weigh the options in the situation, and 100 Thieves keeps coming out on the better. 3 towards A, still got roamers around the map at Garage and backside C. This is going to be tough for Sentinels to get in here with Tens and John Cutie.
And they want to go for it. They have some sort of economy to buy some scrap in the last round.
Yeah.
If it's going to be the last round, because this would put 100 Thieves at that point. At least a spike has been picked up. Smokes are being thrown. Ooh, we looked almost there. That Tens could have picked up that one through the smoke. You're seeing here with 23 seconds left. They can't really re-enter towards this A side, and there's already a flame from Asuna. Cutting the rotations. Jump spotting, giving his position away. Tens is able to get that kill towards that A site. But you're seeing that these numbers are dwindling down. There's a second flash being thrown, and this is going to be very difficult for Tens to hold his weapon. Around no matter what is going to go to the Thief, especially now that Tens has fallen 12-7 as we see it now.
That is the... Okay, so just overall, taking stock of this map, 100 Thieves has played incredibly impressive, pulling out a brand new composition for themselves. Yeah, we saw it across in other regions, but to play it yourself means different things, and the timings and how these duelists are going to work together with the rest of the initiators and Sentinel on the team. And I feel like at this point, the way that Boostio's calling, they're moving and adjusting to Sentinels. They could be almost playing anything, but the power they're getting with this composition is making 100 Thieves look so fresh.
Both of these teams coming out of losses last week.
Yeah.
Sentinels losing to G2, 100 Thieves losing to Loud, and playing once again this single elimination do or die. And a map here of Haven that probably hasn't been seen by both of these teams since, like, what, week 2 of stage 1. But the thing is, 400 Thieves, I don't know here, Sentinels were expecting this to come out. 400 Thieves for this map. And they've been scrambling here for a victory so far, or for at least a read here in this first map so far.
So that's the thing you're dealing with, especially that they're combining these paranoias with another flash, one that Asuna can bounce off a wall and then be somewhere else where Cryo's already taken advantage of the situation. The way they're playing around the utility, honestly, it would be so annoying to be Sentinels right now and find these angles to take down 100 Thieves, because it's usually a flash or a smoke you're staring into and they pop out of it. Okay, 3 ults to 3 ults here. You can see them on the screen. Big for Sentinels here. I'd say they have the priority. But we've seen Asuna do some tricky stuff with this dimensional drift. Popping over to C to start off after this timeout.
Potentially it's just going to be a quick hit too. Bang just got spotted on top of the C box. And there's that flash coming out to support. There's already 3 players here, 400 Thieves inside the C site. Decoy now shot off. The second picked off by Cryo. Once again, another first blood scored by 100 Thieves and already TPing away. So all the marbles now, all the eggs in this basket, selling the fake towards the C site, sacrificial lamb, and trying to go for a plant towards A.
I mean, they'd have to use Zekin like that every time, right? So sell it as much as you can, and now they're going to get to 3 plant in. Getting the ultimate out of Boostio to let him know. So we're towards A.
Almost there.
That was close.
Asna's with the dimensional drift, clearing out the A site, getting information on top of that. There's the kill contract. Once again by Cryo against John Cutie. They're falling like dominoes, and the hat has spotted Celsius rotating up on the C site. An impossible task as he gets picked off by EU, and 100 Thieves are dominating first map.
Running circles around Sentinels as we get back onto Haven with the double duelist composition of ISO and the Yoru. 100 Thieves playing incredible around the board. I think the momentum in the first portion of the first half of Haven goes to Boostio, being able to call around the map, play that mid, then offer up that mid to Asuna or Cryo at times to be the one on the lurk, since Boostio had already been a nuisance there, and they worked so well off the precedents they were setting, and also just a mind game Sentinels could not wrap their head around.
And that's a map picked by Sentinels, won by the Thieves. And it'll be a chance now for 100 Thieves to potentially close this on their map pick. Ascent coming up next.
One enemy remaining.
No chance.
Here.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.